Hey, Cappy. Hi, everybody. Caroline, hi. How's everyone? Let us see. We need some. I'm trying to set up some background noise. Let's get some ambient stuff going on. Mobvul, thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Guys, if you're here, please help me out and like the video so it can get enough shares, so enough people could see it. Thank you, everybody, for the likes. I appreciate it. Please interact with the stream. Let me know what you think, what you want to see. Let me know if you have any questions about what you're seeing. What is the inspo today? I am still kind of just thinking about elves and enjoying the Rings of Power, even though it's not really as good as Lord of the Rings. It's just good guilty pleasure. And just gonna do kind of an elvishish face with some big ears and see how it goes. And we might get into tutorials if we need to. I've been restudying a lot of my anatomy, so I am kind of in a tutorial-y mood. And there goes the elf ear. Is that Abe Lincoln holding a big rip off the Benjamin? Landon Melander? No. There would be some mutton chops. It's funny though. Does Abe Lincoln have an elf ear though? What type of revisionist history is that? Oh, thank you so much, Lucy, for the gift. Thank you so much. Okay, Landon, we'll just call him Abe then. Canyon, what were you saying? Ozymandias? It could be. I'm actually thinking more. If anybody's watching, Rings of Power, I'm thinking more Celebrimbor. I like that actor's face, but I did not draw him exactly like Celebrimbor. But I mean, I'm exaggerating his proportions, obviously. But maybe it'll be more obvious as we keep going. I don't know. We'll see. Landon, it's okay. The season two has gotten a lot better, but it's I mean it's no Lord of the Rings, that's for sure. But I'm kind of just enjoying it for what it is. I'm not asking too much of it. Honestly, there's just nothing good to watch right now, so I'm just enjoying what I get. Oh, I agree with you, Landon. I think the first Hobbit is not bad, actually. No, I don't like the rest of the Hobbits, but the first one is not bad. I just have good, fond memories of going to the theater and watching the first Hobbit. He does look like a Gordon Ramsay. Hey, Kate, glad you're here. We have a we have a gifts goal, but please, if you do not have a capacity to send gifts, please share the live or keep liking it so it it gets recommended to other people. And I'll tell you why we have a gifts goal. I am trying to fund getting a new computer so we could do some YouTube live streams, and we can go more like digital art live streams and more get into high quality stuff. But that's not super necessary because I'm actually enjoying the TikTok format here. Yeah, we've only started. We haven't been live for too long. I'm a little earlier than usual, but I've been playing with times. Cappy, thank you so much for all the likes. I really, really appreciate you. Landon Miller, thank you for following. I appreciate it. Kate, thank you so much for all the likes as well. Thank you so much for the DJ glasses. I just saw that. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Oh, that was a little harsh. We didn't have to hit it that hard right there. Regine, thank you for following. Cappy and Kate, you are rock stars today. Thank you so much for all the likes. Every time I look up again, you guys haven't stopped hitting the like button. Thank you so much. I hope you're getting some value out of this or some entertainment. What pencil am I using? Jonah, I'm using a colored pencil, a Faber-Castell colored pencil. All my material is on my Amazon link in the bio. These colored pencils are there too. You just have to change and pick a color you want. Right now, I think it's on red violet, the one that's on my thing. But you could obviously change that to whatever color you like. I like to work with blues and deep reds and purples too. I love purples. Mostly because like a lot of people use blue. When it just like it starts to look like everybody else's stuff. Watch people drawing live motivates me to get back into my sketchbook. That's awesome, Kate. One demonstration is more valuable than 100 references. Well, I'm glad. I'm currently attending art school and watching someone live actually creates helps a lot. That's cool. We the humans, thank you for following. Yeah, I find the same thing, Cappy. I find just having somebody demonstrate something, which I'm always suspicious of an art class where the teacher does not demonstrate anything. I was like, well, what are we doing here? Like, come on. We need to see how this actually works. I don't like the way the nose came out. Yeah, this is better. Let's fix all that. Cappy, you are killing it. Thank you so so much. I don't know how else to tell you how grateful I am. So, Cappy, what kind of things are you studying right now at school? Intracoastal drawing. Okay, that's cool. That certainly will help a lot. Oh, that's good. But that's good that you're. I have to kind of review stuff that I've mastered every few years or so. So hopefully it's not too tedious for you. Yep, yep, I agree, Cappy. Yesterday we did an exercise where we just block out negative and positive spaces. Yep. I still block out negative spaces when I have a hard time drawing something that I'm looking at when it's not from imagination, especially leaves and a lot of patterns. I just paint or draw the negative space. So that's definitely helpful. That's cool. That sounds cool. Where are you taking this class, Cappy, if you don't mind? Oh, okay, in Indiana. Cool. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. It doesn't have to be a great school as long as the professors know what they're talking about and you're getting some value from it. That's all you need, honestly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Knowing the material and the knowledge is one thing, but it's in the practice that everything changes. So, and a class is a good excuse to kind of force yourself to practice. Hi, Emily. Simply create their art, but with poor fundamentals. Yeah, fundamentals is something that somebody has to kind of go over and over again too. It's not just a one and done. I still go over fundamentals till this day, and I will always go back to looking at my fundamentals again and again. Because once you get expressive with art, it's more like what you leave out than what you remember. But the more you leave out, the more you're gonna forget stuff. Yep, yep. Well, it sounds like you're on the right track, Cappy. I'm happy for you. Yep, couldn't agree more. All right, this one is. We can call this one done, I think. All right, does anybody have any questions or anything you want me to show you? Oh, we don't have many people here today. It's kind of slow again. To ink things so easily? Um, well, inking is hard. I don't know if I ink things so easily. I have to think about it so hard. What I did is I copied the people that I love and I tried to understand how they ink, and With inking is just finding a style that is true to you and something that you're just not doing it because like that's just what you like other people doing, but like just trying to find your voice. And don't think about it as inking. Just think about it as like think about it like you're holding a pencil. I think if you know your fundamentals, if you know what to group the shadows and the lights together, then it doesn't matter how you ink. Everything will read as long as you're following. Heather, thank you for following. You're following the rules of art. I'm trying to start drawing, so anything you think could be helpful. Sergeant Salty Mayo. All right, let's get into some lessons then. Let's get into some lessons. So I'm gonna start with the most basic lesson of all time, okay? So art language. We got the tools of art are usually two things. Man, let me just move these things around. Okay, so here are the tools. Number one, you could work with line. Number two, you can work with shape. Number three, you work with form. And this is how, there's variety in all this. So line, there's literally a thin line, a thick line, a soft line, a curved line, a straight line. So as you could see, there's a variety. There's thin, medium, thick, light, medium, dark. So there's variety, okay? So think about that. I'm a shapes person. Okay. So when it comes to shapes, so line is where you're going to do a lot of inking. This is where you're going to do a lot of inking. The technique of art should be the same regardless of what you use. And usually the best thing is a combination of a lot of things. So let's say the light is coming from here. Okay. My line drawing would be like this because I'm using line. And I might do thicker or thinner line, and then I might do a shadow right here to make sure that it's falling on the ground. So this would be my line, and maybe thicker lines here, and then go into thick to thin. So okay, so that's line. Shape is any shape you could think of. You know, just a big blob of shape. Just shapes, and shape language is very, very important in how you design shadows. So if we're thinking about the same ball again, our shape shadow is basically this half moon. This is our shape shadow, and then our shadow is this shape. So maybe it's a line here. So this is the shape, okay? And form, so with shape we got big, medium, small as well. With form, we're just thinking about the forms of things, which is, you know, boxes and pyramids and prisms and cylinders. So that's the language of art. These are the tools that you have to do anything you want to do. Now when I'm starting a body, for example, sometimes I start the body with shape. I've had so many experiences where I've started a body almost using kind of a pillow. And I actually gave that advice to somebody before, that like, if you want to learn anatomy, just learn how to draw a pillow or a sack of flour. Now this is a shape, right? Now what am I talking about when I say a pillow? Like, how is that going to be a body? Well, look, once you know the body enough, I can put legs right here. You see how that turned into a body? By using just this pillow shape? Here's the way. Sometimes I use this shape for a body, this shape. Kind of a weird long box. And I could put the head right here. Arm, other arm, and again, here are the legs, rib cage, belly button. So, all right, so we got lines, we got shape, we got forms. We also have something called overlap. So when things are far away, they kind of stay flat, one-dimensional. When they get closer to you, they become, well, I almost did a 3 dimensions. That's when it's even closer. So if something is in the medium, you get 2 dimensions. When something is closer, you get 3 dimensions. So you see how this kind of jumps forward? Because you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. So as things go back, they get flatter and flatter. Yeah, Fifi, drawing is an illusion. Now, how is that important? Let's take this arm. If I have a bicep coming here, I'm going to keep this flat because it's on behind. If the arm is bent towards me, I'm going to put the forearm coming to me as 2 dimensions, and then I'm gonna do a 3-dimensional hand. Let's say this is a big hand, but you see how like we use this concept in an arm, and this is kind of, I explained how round things are, and this is flat. Which again, when you're drawing, thank you whoever just followed. When you're drawing, you're not just drawing, you're explaining to me. So don't draw, explain. For example, look at this here. If I cover this, or actually let's actually do it some other way. If I cover this side, can you tell me this is a cylinder or does it look flat? It's flat, right? You have to see this to understand that this is round. So I have to round things, right? A bicep is round. So right here, I have to kind of hook you into feeling like there is roundness to this. There is roundness to this. So if I were to draw a graph, it would look something like this. There is a roundness here. It would look like this. So you have to explain stuff. Look at the leg here. The leg actually, right? The leg comes up and down again, up and down. Like you have to think almost like if I slice a shape, what is it going to look like? The belly here, your abs actually go out and in, out again, out, in, out again. So you have to understand the ins and outs of a body to understand how to describe them to me. And again, this is what I'm saying about art is what you're leaving out, not what you're just showing me. So you think this, but you don't have to show me this. Lad, thank you for following. Does that make sense so far? Okay, another thing about art. Overlap is very, very important. And you got tools for overlapping. So there are just line tools for overlapping. So you just put one object on top of the other, intersecting. But also, how do you show that something truly overlaps? Well, think about when you light it up. Thank you, Sergeant Salty Mayo. I'm glad you're okay. When you're lighting it up, you can put a shadow in. Now it really looks like it's overlapping. Drop the shadows. And the shadow always follows the form that it's on. If I had a cylinder here, again, going back to describing, the shadow on the cylinder won't look like that. It won't look flat. It will actually follow the cylinder. It follows the shape of the cylinder. So this is what I mean, describe, right? Just don't draw, just describe. Thank you for the follow, SMR. Oh, SMR. ASMR. Okay. So, how do I think about, for example, body shapes? I do think let's look at the forms, right? So a thigh, for example, I think of a thigh as a cylinder first. The cylinder stops here. I put a ball where the knee is. I think about the shin as a joint. Now it's not a straight up joint. It's like a funky joint because I do like round it here and come down. But this is really how I'm thinking about the body in my brain. So I'm not looking at pictures all the time when I'm drawing. I just learn how to move forms around. We've talked about this before. Thank you so much, SMR. Please, guys, if you want to contribute, please like, share, and if you can contribute gifts, I really, really appreciate them. But if you can't, just keep liking and sharing so more people can come here. So yes, part of knowing how to draw is how to move these shapes around in perspective. I've shared this exercise before where just draw a line and stack forms on top of one another and see what happens, right? So I'm going to draw a ball. I'm going to draw a pyramid on top of the ball. A box on top of the pyramid, right? I'm going to draw a cylinder here. I'll put another pyramid upside down right here. What else should we do? Another box I'll put sideways. Let's do a prism going this way, right? A cone. Let's do a cone. We didn't do a cone. So you see, when you stack this stuff on top of each other, you'll know how to stock a body together. You'll have the skills to, you know, like let's say if you're looking at a body from the top, the head would be right here, a box. And then the body itself will be another box like this, right? And then let's say he's twisting, so rib cage will come this way, and then I'll put two cylinders for the arms, the legs. You see how this is looking like a person now? Callahan Tattoo and Anthony, thank you so much for the follow. So you see just how moving forms around, if you just learn how to move forms around, you'll basically learn how to move a body around. Here's a ball for the shoulder joint. Here's a ball for the elbow. Here's another hand going down here. I don't know what he's doing. But you just move shapes around basically, and you'll get a body. Let's see. So like I said, the body is usually, I think, either a pillow for construction, but like a pillow is a little bit more advanced. So usually I think about, fitting bodies in boxes of equal measures, and the rib cage is usually a shape like this. It's an egg, and your pelvis is kind of this underwear shape. Does that make sense? The head would be here if you want to add another box for the head. So it's 1, 2, 3, all equal sizes. I know I've done them so quickly, but so the head stops here at 2/3. And then the shoulders start inside the box, they come out. Inside the box, they come out. So this is usually, you have a collarbone right here, and you have your rib cage right here. So this is usually how a body looks. And then you kind of just attach legs. Now, I usually do this every time I'm stuck. Hex Tech, thank you for following. Every time I'm stuck and I don't know how to draw a body, like let's do this body from this perspective. So you'd have a head, and then you have the egg shape, right? This is the rib cage, and then you have, now this is not gonna just simply look like this. What is this when it's 3D? It's gonna look like a triangle from here and comes down this way. This is kind of the spine attaching to it, right? And then legs proceed as normal with the cylinders. Should I be making the torso a box instead of trying to form the neck and traps from the head? Should I be making the torso a box instead of trying to form the neck and traps from the head? I usually start, like, in terms of hierarchy. Could you move the book just a little bit? Yes. I'm trying, here, let me see if I could actually pull this out a little bit. So, yeah, everybody can see it. So, I don't know if this answers socially inactive. I don't know if this answers it, but I usually start with the body. I don't start with the head. Sometimes I even start with the kind of the ribs here, not the ribs, the hips, the hip bone, because I want a foundation. And then once the torso here is figured out, then I feel a little bit more comfortable about attaching the neck to it. So let's look at a few examples. And I'll show you how to construct a body. Okay? So I either sometimes, so let's start with this kind of pillow design. I've low-key been starting with the head first. No, it's okay. There is no wrong way to doing it. I'm just saying, like, this is how I do it. So I start with this kind of weird pillow shape, and I talk about pillows all the time. So just think about like pillows. You see that, like, pillow? I almost always start with lines to determine placement of leg or torso. And I'll show you how to start the same thing with shape. Now, you could just start with shape. And I'll show you the million different ways you could start a body. Like, I start with a shape like this, you know? That's a shape. Or I start with two kind of round shapes, eggs like that. Now, I'll show you. I usually will put the kind of hips right here. And I think about where they go, because like I look at the body like you look at the foundations of a building. If I have my legs right, then I could like build my body on top of it. Again, cylinder, right? Cylinder. Say the leg goes here, and this anatomy comes with practice. Like this, learning how to do a gesture is important, but anatomy is key here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be, it has to make sense. So I'm doing this because like the knees would go follow the perspective, rules of perspective. And we could get into perspective here in a little bit. See, again, this I'm just thinking about cylinders. And I'm not gonna like detail the foot or anything because that's a lesson for itself. Okay, now that I got the hips and the legs, now I know fundamental information. I wish I've used this for. Oh, I'm glad Callahan tattoo. That's working for you. Okay, now I have the body grounded, and I know it could stand, and everything. Now I will drop. Now I will come in with the torso. Sometimes I would remind myself where the rib cage goes, like this, like we talked about, the rib cage, and I'll do it here. And then let's say I got arms coming this way. I'm not going to bother with arms today because we'll just talk about torso. Torso is how you move a body. And then I'll put the head right here and attach the neck. Okay? Now, if we're gonna do the same thing, but with the egg construction that I showed you, this would be the rib cage, right? This is the rib cage, and then this would be that underwear shape we talked about. Same thing. You see, there's no one way of doing it, and this is the part that moves, the waist. This does not move. This is all bone. This does not move, right? This, your body's like an accordion. I could like twist this shape, and only the waist would twist. And we'll look at other. We'll do other poses that will make that make sense. Again, I'll just speed through the legs here because we just want to know. Now, if I started with this shape, same thing. Just remember, 1, 2. The body has a side. Socially inactive, yeah, no problem. Maybe we could, you see, if I had enough funding to get a computer, we'll do these live on YouTube where you guys can have access to them later. Okay, so again, same thing right here. It's just, it doesn't matter how you start. It's just like how you see that. And we did it with shape, we did it with the pillow shape, and we did it with construction. And honestly, if you're drawing out of your brain, same principle. Same idea. Let's think about another pose. Let's get into another pose. Okay. So let's say I'm trying to think about like a body that's twisting. So just give me a second. Let's look at a body that is twisting so I could show you this accordion example that I've been talking about. So, okay. So when it comes to it, I do digital art, so I have way less control over how pencil behaves. I understand. I do digital art too. That's why it's easy for me to do these demonstrations like this, so I could, because it's easy control. All right, so when it comes to the accordion of the body, so I said we have a shape here that doesn't move, and let's do the pillow again. Let's do this pillow again because I like this idea of the pillow. So, okay, so again, we have a rib cage here, right? A rib cage here doesn't move. I said there's a pelvic bone here that doesn't move. And look at this. There's a pinch here. By the way, all bodies have a complicated side and a simple side. Look at that. Simple side, complicated side. Pinches, straight. So you see how this is shorter here but longer here like an accordion because we twisted it that way? This is the part that moves in the body. Because whatever we do, this kind of remains the same. It moves around in space, but it doesn't change shape. You can think of the ribs as a bean. Yeah, because like, I guess a bean is just another kind of like a bean like that, like another. It's still, yeah, kind of like a pillow. And then when we get here, I can still attach legs to the body. Right? And legs, remember, where I am doing a cylinder, attaching another cylinder next to it. So 1, 2. So we can see that there's a curve. Coming here for a knee. And then again, dropping with this kind of shape, the cylinder shape. Or going sideways this way. And then I'll put a head right here. And then again, attach a neck. You can put one arm here, one arm going up. Doesn't matter. But figuring out the core. Now, if the body twists the other way around, right, the pinch of the waist would look like this. It would be shorter on this side, longer on this side. Because again, it's that part that moves. So you're thinking about overlapping circles, right? You're almost overlapping circles. Remember, the body is just a sack. And you got to almost travel from this side. You also want to alternate curves and straights. So look. Curve, straight, curve. And that's just good design. Curve, straight, curve. Does that make sense, guys? So let's see. Let me think about like let's draw a body that's twisting but like actually sitting down. So again, I would do this kind of pillow shape. Again. And I would find, because it's twisting so much, this is the waist again. You see, egg, box, twisty little jello in the middle. And let's say she's sitting down, whoever this person is. I would put another leg right here. You have a folded leg right there. I don't know, we'll just put it in. And then the body would be right here. Here's the rib cage. I'm messing this up, but you guys get the idea. It's just too much lines here that I can't darken. And the collarbone is like a bicycle handle. Look, it comes like this, like a bicycle handle. Just think about the bicycle handle and you'll be okay. We have a ball here. And again, simple side, complicated side. Alexander, thank you for joining. When making the waist and torso, since I was just making lines from nowhere. This is helpful. Thank you, Socially Inactive. I'm glad this is helpful. Yeah. Waists. So so to understand, let's look at just anatomically, so you guys know what we're talking about. I'm gonna show you kind of a muscle diagram, so we understand what we're talking about. So we said here is the rib cage, right? The rib cage, this is the hole where the neck goes to. We got bicycle handles for the collarbone. We got this thing called the sternum that your rib cage kind of opens from. and it's kind of flattish on this side. Okay, so we got this. Now, under here, we said we got this kind of underwear shape. That's the pelvic area, the pelvic bone. So the abs attach right here. They come all the way down here. Here's your belly button. This is the abs. And like I said, the abs go in, they curve like this. Next to the abs, we have this triangle shape that holds the ab in place. And then we got the waist side muscle that attaches right here. So we have front, middle, and side. This is what we got here. Okay? So this is, and you can grab any anatomy book and just look at it. This will help. Any tips for sketching and drawing too hard? Any tips for sketching and drawing too hard? I'm not understanding, Kismet. I'm not understanding what you're asking. Thank you for all the follows, guys. Please keep liking, sharing, or sending gifts. It's really, really helping me out here. Tips for faces. We can get into faces, yeah. Like pressing the pencil too hard. Oh, don't hold the pencil like this. You're going to press too hard. I hold the pencil like, even if you hold the pencil like this, draw from your elbow. So you're not doing this. We're not writing, we're drawing. Well, my sketchbooks ends up in trashes too. Okay, so let's see. The muscles for the your chest is like this. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of this shape right here. So you end up, and then you have, I think, ribs that attach. This is your rib cage, and you got like, sometimes you see it in people, right? So when it comes to the body, you got a chest that looks like this. Sorry. You got a chest that looks like this, and basically abs that look like this. And then the abs attach, like glue themselves by this kind of attachment muscle, and the waist come next to it. So if I were to slice that and show you it from the side, the ab really look like this. It goes up, down, and you see this on a very lean body. You're gonna see this kind of ab going up and down and having this kind of thing going. And then you're gonna see this is kind of the waist, and then this is basically how it looks like. How do you do a skeleton? Well, I'm glad this is, Brittany, helpful for the life drawing. The skeleton, skeleton, we've been doing skeletons all along. The skeleton is just, once you got the head right, you have an egg shape for the rib cage. Like we said, the collarbone is bicycle handles. We got the sternum here. The rib cage opens like this in an egg form. Okay, just cover it inside. And then your spine kind of curves and comes out like this. And this is usually how I handle the rib cage. I keep calling it rib cage. Your hip bone. And we got a ball right here, a ball right here. ball. This is how I simplify it for myself when I'm drawing. I don't need the whole thing, but this is what I attach a body to. Does that sound good? Now the face is usually a shape like this, and it really doesn't matter. Like, you can have a square head, you can have a triangle head, you can have a head that starts big. You need to know that all heads will have cheekbones and will have this kind of, as long as you could find this shape inside your head. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I slice this and darken it, because that's where the eyes go, you have a cheekbone coming here, your cheekbone coming here, and then put the cheek in. That's how a head starts to happen. Ears. But I could literally do that right here. This is a person with a double chin, big ears, small head. You only get a small radius to make lines. You can't freely move your pencil anywhere when you're using your elbow if you use your wrist. Yeah, it depends on how big the paper is. Tips for drawing hair. Well, hair is very, very difficult. Hello, Ghetto. Any tips drawing from a different perspective? Yes, we'll get into that. Hair is, all I gotta tell you about hair is that don't draw individual hair. Look at JC Leindecker. Draw the shapes of the hair. Like, hair is just ribbons. So if you think about a ribbon, like, just do an S like this, connect it, drop one. And that's how you do a hair here. You do S shapes, and you connect them together, and you do a bunch of these, and you get hair. Ribbons. Yes, ribbons. Now, if you want to draw from different perspectives, here's what I'll tell you to do. Forget, the body is going to fit in a box. So learn how to move the box around. Like we said here, if you learn how to move shapes around, you'll learn how to put a body in perspective. So if I'm looking down at a body, because I know how to move a box around, I know I could fit a body. You see, face, egg, box, leg. I know I'm looking at a body from above. If I'm going to look at it from below and it's on top of me, I know how to fit a body in here again, because I'm stacking things. It could be laying, or it could be, this looks like he's laying, so let's actually try to make it from a top. So you see, when you're moving the box around, you could figure out basically how to move the body around in perspective. Where do you recommend finding the books you recommend? Ghetto, I can put them on my on my Amazon materials list if you wanna. Yeah, precise line work, do it with the palm, but start with the wrist and elbows, or shoulder and elbows. Yeah, well, if you don't know how to move, yeah, if you want to get technical with perspective, you could do vanishing points. But honestly, if you just learn how to move stuff around like this, simple shapes around, you could kind of cheat that. You could cheat that unless you're kind of doing architecture or like, uh, or you have to be very, very precise. So all of that gets you here basically, where you could draw something like this, like what we just did. We did this in the beginning uh, of the stream. Yes, if I can do it, you could do it. Hands. We're gonna have to save hands for another day because it's hands are a lot. I do use the Loomis method from time to time. I'm not like I don't restrict myself to it. It's very useful. The people who found you are really lucky. You are a great teacher in my eyes. Thank you so much, Ghetto. I hope you guys are learning from this. Um, oh, Kurt, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Does TikTok allow us to do a full stream? Post a full stream? How about this? Would you guys is that the guy from Rings of Power or something? Yes, just drama. This is Celebrimbor. Guys, if you guys want to see this later, I could post this entire stream on my YouTube channel. You just go there, Snow Bunny, and follow it. Follow Simply Lathe on YouTube. I'll download this stream and I'll put it on YouTube. And if you guys want to keep that up, we'll start doing tutorial streams and we'll post them on YouTube as we keep going. Does that seem good? Yeah, socially inactive. Yeah, practice those and then come back. Let me know if you have any questions, and then we'll work on them. Sketch and scroll. I'm glad that you're here. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, every guys, do me a favor. Everybody who wants to see the stream, just to see this recording, go find me on YouTube at Simply Lathe. There is a bunch of tutorials in there and a bunch of lives, but I will be uploading this live um, on YouTube so you guys can have it. And if we are successful here, if I get enough support via gifts, I will be buying a new computer so we could stream live on YouTube straight away. My computer right now is very, very old and I can't stream on YouTube because it lags a lot. Yep, awesome. I think my YouTube is linked to my TikTok here. Does TikTok make me make VODs? What is VODs? Yes, practice every day certainly does help. Practice every day help. I mean, look, I've been here every day, practicing every day in front of your eyes. We've been doing a lot of anatomy. We've been doing a lot of lessons. We did this the other day. Oh, thank you, Fabulous. Yeah, maybe I should just. I mean, these are too long to post on TikTok. I don't know if there's a limit. But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun here. We've been doing charcoal drawings, and if you guys haven't been following us or here for a while, you probably missed out on all the pen art I've been posting. So we've been doing a lot of pen stuff. Yes, I am mostly self-taught, but I did take classes in the cloud or your device. They are stored in the device, but they're not for too long. They do expire after a while. Is there any advice for proportion in the face? Yes, Hazard. There's a bunch. So I've also been showing everybody how to draw with fountain pens. Actually, you want to see something cool? We did this drawing live not too long ago. Hermes flying. How do you get your drawings to not smear? Because I know some of the charcoal like you used. Charcoal is gonna smear. I mean, there's no getting away with that. But I draw with colored pencils that don't smear right now. So I actually painted this the other day, and it came out pretty good. It started as a sketch in the sketchbook. Um, Ghetto, just look up Simply Lathe or follow the link. I have my YouTube linked to my TikTok, so you could probably just click on the uh, click on the YouTube on TikTok. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of ink drawings too on the lives. Uh, with pen, and a lot of people enjoy the pen stuff. Oh yeah, it does look kind of classical painting, doesn't it? Oh shoot, I'm about to run out of battery here. So we can like play with medium, but you see it's the same principles. Once you learn the fundamentals, how to group light and shadow, uh, everything is the same, regardless of if you want to do it with a brush, do it with a pen, do it with colored pencils, do it with charcoal. Uh, it all kind of comes out the same. But I'm seeing that a lot of uh, anatomy is what most people are interested in. If you want, we can get into clothing and how to do fabrics, because that's a big question that a lot of people have. Uh, but yeah, so guys, thank you so much. I am gonna be heading out. I will post this on my YouTube channel, so you guys can just replay it. I'll be back here tomorrow around the same time, and I'll answer more of your questions and show you all the tips and tricks on how to get into most things. Okay. But see ya. Thank you so much for everybody who followed, everybody who liked, everybody who shared the live, and especially the people that sent gifts. Thank you so much. Bye, Hazard. Bye, everybody. Thank you.